7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of CBD Talk Podcast. Tonight is episode number 95, and tonight we have the subject of the unboxing that I did last week. My first unboxing, but it was a good one. It's a good product. So I want to welcome TJ Stouder. Stouder? Did I say it right?
Yeah, nailed it. Thanks, Tom.
I could have forgotten already.
Happens to the best of us.
Wait, do you have a clarity one in here?
All of them.
And
except sleep, maybe.
Yeah, that sleep would actually be a good one. So TJ is Mr. Holistic Wellness, and I did an unboxing of his product last week, and I don't usually start out this way, but I do want to show you this stuff because it's really good. I talk a lot about how I want products that make CBD available to everyone in every way, so that people can include it in their daily regimen easily. And your product is definitely one of them. So I've already opened this one.
Awesome.
There are 5 different formulations. There you go. And this is the stress one. That's, of course, the one I chose. And it's these little straws, and it has the product as a powder in it that you can just put into your drink. So you can either pop off the bottom and just pour it in, or you can peel off the sticker and stir it in. So real easy to use. You could stick this in your purse. It's not going to spill out, or your backpack or whatever, and that's huge. This is one of the reasons why I really like this product, is because it's very portable and easy to use, and each stick has 10 milligrams of CBD in it. And the formulations, it's got several different formulations, got information cards on the different formulations. So honestly, hey, what's your website?
What's our website?
Yeah.
HOLISTIKWellness.com. Holistic with a K.
So HOLISTIK wellness.com for those of you who aren't watching the video. And I'll put the website in the show notes as well. So, so I was excited to get TJ on, so that we could just kind of get to know TJ, his story, talk a little bit about the industry and the culture around CBD and cannabis, and then see where we go from there. So, first question. How did you get into the industry?
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, Don. Excited with what you're doing as a mission, and really very parallel with what we're trying to do at Holistic Wellness. So thank you for doing what you're doing, and excited to join the conversation. So my mission into cannabis, and I call it cannabis very intentionally because it's one plant and a myriad of possibilities. Mm-hmm. I worked for over a decade in big CPG at Procter & Gamble. Really working on big brands and big brand communication to consumers, and how you build that credibility over time. I left there looking to create a smaller brand that I would have more control over, and really the ability to impact that end consumer in an even bigger way, never knowing that would be cannabis. Long story short, I moved closer to home in the Midwest and ran into my mom in a condition she's been facing for most of my life. And realized she needed a new answer. It wasn't working. She was still struggling with it month over month and really dependent on a pill jar. And I suggested CBD. And she looked at me as if I suggested a drug, and it scared me a bit that something so natural as a plant could be considered such a scary drug. And this stigma that was really embedded in her pretty deep, that she was afraid of it. Long story short, 6 months later, I did a long series of research answering a lot of her questions she had around how she could use it in her everyday wellness, and really the downsides that she's been preached to the upsides that she wasn't sure she should believe. And finally, she tried a full spectrum product and had a great success. And really, our mission at Holistic was born in that moment, realizing consumers needed a credible path of education to a new product and a new category.
A freaking men. I'm telling you. It still surprises me that um, the lack of education when it comes to, well, cannabis is one thing, but I can understand how some people have preconceived notions on that. But even CBD, it's like, I'm sorry, CBD is the kindest molecule there is. It's,
Definitely.
it's not going to get you high. Federally, it's been because of the Farm Bill Act and what was it, 2019 or whatever it was, 2018, 2019. Seems so long ago. So I mean,
Seems long but short. 2018, yeah.
yeah, and it's just like I just don't understand the why CBD would have a stigma around it, but it's all, like you said, it's all about education and just sharing the knowledge. And to be honest, the media doesn't do us a whole lot of favor because it goes with the sexy, THC side of it, and hot boxing, and all this stuff. And it doesn't focus on the medicinal properties of any of the cannabinoids. So,
Definitely, definitely. Well, and that's the well said. Any of the cannabinoids. We talk so much about just CBD and THC, and I think it's been dumbed down to a marketing message of
mhm.
THC gets you high, CBD gets you well, and somewhere in between is everything else. And
Yeah,
the beauty of the natural plant is that it works best in full harmony, and the way it grows from the land, and really finding how to harness the power of that plant. And I think the exciting way of the future is learning more and more about each cannabinoid, to the CBGs, CBNs, THCVs of the world, that we haven't done nearly enough study to really learn what they could do.
yeah. And I know CBG is coming up pretty hot and heavy now, which is awesome. And David Dawkins, who's been on the show several times, he did a study on THCV years and years ago, and the potential for helping with diabetes with that
Yeah,
one. That's what his was on. He was like, "Whoa, that is huge." So it was on rats, but so
definitely.
he didn't do a human trial on it. But it's just all of these cannabinoids and then working together in harmony with each other and boosting each other and allowing for better absorption and blah blah blah, all that great stuff. um it's yeah, it's funny because we've got a long way to go, but that doesn't mean you don't start now.
Exactly, exactly.
So what kind of uh what kind of problems have you come up with when it comes to dealing with customers and the stigma around, I mean, even just around CBD? We're not even talking, full plant or anything like that. I mean, there's been a lot of the reason that I talk about CBD is there have been more studies on that cannabinoid than many of the others, and so we
Definitely.
have a little more knowledge about this one. Not obviously not complete knowledge. We've still got so much to learn. But so, what are some of the things that you've come up with and trying to, how do you explain to people how this is a safe and health, in my opinion, health giving product?
Definitely. I think there's three key areas people get concerned with. Number one is THC and the amount of THC. And I think the clear definition of hemp, which is below 0.3% THC
Mm-hmm.
by dry weight, which means, frankly, you could take hundreds of our sticks in a row and you could not produce a high. So you can't accumulate enough THC to actually get the psychoactive effects at that low of a percent. So you can't get high from hemp at the end of the day. So that's the first fear that really helps my mom and helps other consumers know that they can function and not worry about psychoactive effects and try this for the first time to see any of the other possible benefits. Number two is really drug tests, actually, at the
Yes.
end of the day, which relates to the THC question. I think people say, am I going to get fired? And that answer is unclear often from a lot of companies. And there's a lot of companies that say, we're THC free. However, could I still fail that drug test? And our unequivocal answer is it's possible when taking these products over time, and especially with some of the testing and the error ratios that they have in the testing on THC. So you can accumulate enough THC to fail a drug test over time. What I told my mom is, tell your boss you're taking a legal product and there's a chance it could make you fail a drug test, and have that conversation rather than taking that risk, because that's the honest answer at the end of the day. And then I think the last area of concern is it healthy? Is it safe? And I think that's the biggest question that we and a lot of great companies that are creating great products are waiting from the FDA and other legal bodies to define what's required in making a product, what testing has to be done, what packaging should be there, how long it can sit on shelf. All of these things that are important in consumer products need to be defined so the consumer knows they're safe in entering the category. So I think at the end of the day, transparency has been key for us in showing every step of that process, educating on how we make it, educating on the choices we make, like greenhouse grown hemp, that are important to that end consumer.
Yeah. Well, I can tell that you're a CPG guy because I'm seeing the QR code. I'm seeing I've got the UPC on here. I've got all of my BPA free, and I mean it's the supplemental fats, the dietary. You definitely got that down.
Playing for the future. We believe this will be in all stores near you very soon, and we want to be right on par with all the other products you're shopping there, because a consumer should feel comfortable to find this information quickly.
Exactly, and we really do want the cannabis industry to be at that level. This isn't mom and pop. This isn't made in the kitchen. These are these are safely made products, and a lot of the times in certified um, uh, manufacturing facilities, and this is nice, clean product, professionally packaged. The information that you need is on there, and you've got all of the active ingredients listed and everything, and it's just it's the way it should be, and people should
I'll
be
give
able
you
to
a
have.
further example.
Hmm?
I'll give you a further example of our ingredients.
Okay.
Next to our hemp plants in our greenhouse in the U.S. in upstate New York, all indoor, never touching soil, is lettuce. We grow lettuce that's going to a local grocery store chain, a reasonable sized chain, that the same lettuce the same standards that we grow our lettuce that we eat in salad without cooking is how we expect our hemp plants to grow. And at the end of the day, that's what we should expect, that we're having the same exact processes or other food and plants in the grocery store.
And it's really important because our products in the industry are going to sick people. And so we can't, and that's why it's nice that you're doing greenhouse. I mean, there's lots of, some people will do it greenhouse, some people are outdoors, whatever works for their product. But one of the great things about doing it indoors is typically you don't have to worry about pesticides, and things like that, and you don't have any blowover from other farms in the area. And a pesticide in a product for a sick person is a terrible thing.
Well, and I'll tell you, it'll make a healthy person sick if the process is you take that plant and you concentrate the oils out of the plant. So, for example, in our healthy, fresh hemp plant ready to be cut down, the CBD is about 15%. We concentrate that to an 80% distillate before we turn it into a water-soluble powder. Imagine if there was 1 little milligram of arsenic in our plant, and we concentrated that. Now, don't get me wrong, it's possible to grow outdoor and grow very cleanly outdoor. Yes. California grows some of the best medicinal cannabis on the planet outdoors.
So does Colorado.
However, there's risk. Colorado, of course, sorry, we're working on it, catching up. I live in Colorado, but we're slightly behind still, I must admit. Yeah.
I live in Colorado.
Oh, where are you in Colorado?
I'm up in northern Colorado.
Okay. I'm outside of Denver.
Oh, that's so. Yay, Colorado. But we're getting there.
Podcast closer to home during quarantine.
Yes. But truly, you're right when you're talking about concentrating things, and you get that. Yeah, it can be really scary. You think of it about a child with seizures,
Yeah.
and you throw that in there, and that's why our state is doing a good job when it comes to testing requirements and things like that. Obviously, things can always be better, but we're all learning together.
Yeah.
We're all learning together, so it's a good thing. So what so what made you go with this product? Why did you
Specifically.
decide that you were going to create a powder to put into drinks?
Awesome. That's probably a threefold answer too. I hate to answer all questions in three. One, water solubility is important from an efficacy and efficiency standpoint. Reason for that is I think I use an edible experience for the easiest. If anybody's ever had a THC edible or heard of a bad THC edible experience, the reason for that is it has to go all the way to your stomach and to break down the active cannabinoids, get into your stomach lining to get to your bloodstream. So sometimes it can take 30, 45 minutes to an hour for one of those to kick in, and then it can take up to 5 hours for it to wear off. Water solubilizing those cannabinoids actually allows them to get into the bloodstream faster, so you'll feel water soluble products within 5, 10, 15 minutes, many of our consumers say. So really important for us that when you take one, you probably need one. You're not waiting an hour for those benefits if you need to go to sleep now. So water soluble was important at the foundation and really my mission in getting into cannabis. I had the good fortune of founding one of my co-founders who had actually developed the stick itself prior to our business as a way to infuse beverages in an easier way, which felt like in this time, what better than CBD that we're looking a way forward on ease of use. And you explained at the beginning, how do we get this into our purse so we can have it at the moment we need it?
Yes.
And that's really my mom's mission of what's the easiest way to have one on me. And at the end of the day, it fits that consumer need. So we were really excited for the combination of the two.
That's great. That's great. And how long have you been making the product?
We launched in October of 2019. The idea came about 16 months before that. And really, we worked a long time, as you said, on packaging, which is more than just something to hold the product for us. It's that first moment of truth for a consumer. It's when you see who we are. It's when you hopefully hear the whole story I'm telling now. It's what leads you to read the rest of the information and educate yourself before picking a CBD product off the shelf at the gas station. It's find something that really could work for you, that you know where it's tested, you know where it comes from. As you said, you know who it comes from, so that you know it has a chance of helping you.
Yeah, I like the fact that you know where your product's being grown. I mean, seed to sale what's happening with your product, and that's
We
great.
call it seed to stick. Just
Seed to stick. Yes.
of course we do.
Very good. Very good. Do you have plans on adding other products?
Big plans. I'll tell you, CBD wellness is the heart of all of our products. So coming from that greenhouse and a full spectrum, we call it a broad spectrum because it's non-detect THC.
Right.
I can detail that more for you if you want.
Oh yeah.
But the point is, we don't.
We go with broad spectrum. Yeah, we understand that one.
It's a gray area because we don't adjust our plant. It's just the percentage of CBD wellness in that final stick. THC is non-detectable, but it's there. So we don't remove it by any means. And I think that gray area of removed versus not removed, broad spectrum THC free is a bit confusing. And we proudly keep that THC because we believe in the full spectrum nature of the plant. So that said, we have our 5 key usage occasions, which we believe are most of what consumers are looking for. However, in the future, there's a few more that I think consumers would really like to see, especially as we go through COVID and look at ways to support the immune system. As you said, things like clarity and focus that are other interesting benefits of CBD that other formulations could address. However, I see the real future behind other cannabinoids, and we talk CBG, CBN, and really exciting things coming ahead. So I think more focus via better spectrums of cannabinoids that are more addressing the the specific needs. We also need the help of FDA and researchers to obviously push forward and learn, so we're not making any false claims or pushing forward anything unhealthy.
Right. So when you so your sticks have other herbs and things like that in it, and so those are things that you can make claims with, right? So
Correct.
that's how we can. I mean, you add CBD to anything, it's going to be better. So just right there.
Exactly.
But so like with the sleep, you've got the melatonin and the chamomile. Well, the APA, American Herbal Producers Association, I think it's what it is. You know, they've been able. There's been plenty of studies for on the herbal side to be able to say that melatonin and chamomile are sleep sleep benefit products. So I'm just curious when it comes to those to that part of your product, where are you getting that?
You mean sourcing wise?
Yes.
Sourcing wise, so we work with actually food grade co-packers. We didn't go the route of contract manufacturers in cannabis. The concern being we like that the big customers in the country have done audits of these facilities. At the end of the day, it's kind of that safety blanket of knowing that other products come from there. So we've used all third-party contract manufacturing that are doing those same supplements that are sitting on the grocery store shelf already. Good. And using those as extracts to fill the sticks. Now, the simplicity of those ingredients is very intentional. There's not much science to them. If you look on Google and find natural ingredients to help with these different ailments or whatever you might be facing, you'll find our second and third ingredient in all the sticks.
Yeah.
That's an education tool in itself. So it opens, I love using beauty as the best example, which many people wouldn't think of CBD for, which we've added collagen. Collagen is naturally produced and helpful in your skin elasticity, making bouncier skin is the most fun statement to say. And adding collagen to that quickly communicates it to a consumer the wellness routine they're looking for. So you'll see that across all of our products, simple natural ingredients with a little sweetener of all natural monk fruit, creating the final taste.
Yeah. We like that. We like this sweetness.
Those tend to be a favorite, especially through quarantine and stressful days, sleepless nights that many of us are facing.
Yeah, we just need that little extra sweet bit of sweet with the stress that we've been going under, and that lemon and that.
Stress during the day, sleep at night is a frequent combo.
So, what are some of the challenges that you came up against starting your brand?
I think the long road to FDA has been surprising for me. I think again we're a very experienced company across a multitude of CPG products that we know the recipe. We expected that it would be documented by now. We've worked hard with retailers across the country that are eager to get into this category. They see the amount of CBD being sold in every store you can find and online and everywhere else that isn't vetted. And they're looking forward to legitimizing this business and pushing it forward into your everyday shopping routine. So you have really that route. So I've been surprised it's taken as long as it has. But at the end of the day, I think it's right to get it right. So I'm hoping it's coming soon, and it's coming with the formula we all expect, that clean, safe, healthy, trackable are pretty easy criteria to pass and get things moving.
Yeah.
The other one has really been COVID, which we can't ignore COVID. Obviously, for a small business, it's tough times. And I know consumers are having tough times at home and really figuring out those spending priorities. And as a company, we've tried to support them and really helping with trial to ensure our product works for you before ever asking for commitments of a month or 2 months or 3 months, really offering up a stick. And you'll often see when you hit our info account, I'll respond personally. And I see journeys that I'm really excited for, that I want to help a consumer and get them a stick of their choice to help them through, especially times like these that we're facing.
Yeah, and we've all heard stories of bad actors out there who hide behind all sorts of different walls so that they're not easily found, I guess.
Right.
And so it's great when you have a company that's right out there in front, going, "Hey, here I am. You know, give me a call, talk to me, ask me questions. I'm right here. I'm not hiding." You know,
Definitely.
and that's a big trust factor thing. And to put your face and your name to a product, especially one with the CBD, which is, you know, still kind of in the gray area at the moment. Um, it's, you know, it just shows that you are serious about what you're doing, and you have crossed your T's and dotted your I's. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, um, you know, putting your face in your product. So that's a
For
beautiful
sure.
thing.
Well, and it shows that I believe in it because I made that very clear decision when, and it was earlier when it was even more gray area, as you say, that, you know, getting together if it was going to go the right direction. And I saw the results, and I saw consumers that were buying it, needed it. I see the demand continuing to go up. And sadly, as you said, there's a lot of bad actors. I want to overemphasize there's a lot of good actors, and you
Yes.
find a lot of great companies out there that we're working with on a shared mission of creating educational materials that when a consumer comes and the stick isn't the right answer for them, I love to give them other options that might be better suited for their lifestyle, better suited for what they're dealing with, because the most important mission is understanding there is a way to wellness here.
Yes, and we've talked about before, you know, if you try something that doesn't work, there are other ways to, you know, to incorporate CBD in your body, into your body and your daily regimen. And so you don't give up. You know, maybe you needed something different dosing, whatever. But I have to say that I do feel confident um, when it comes to my health, and I know that I'm doing what I can to boost my immune system uh, for what we're dealing with, and, you know, with the pandemic and everything. And no, that doesn't mean that people aren't going to get it, but it sure helps.
I certainly keep my full spectrum regimen throughout the day, just in
Yes,
case.
yes, and it's definitely and besides that, it helps in so many other ways. So, what type of, I mean, like you said, you know, you use it every day. What benefits do you feel that you're getting from it?
Honestly, the answer I hear the most often, and I heard it in front of the FDA, which made everyone in the room laugh, but it was from a scientist that done, and I'm not going to quote numbers, a reasonable amount of research,
Yeah,
and the most overwhelming answer was a general sense of wellness.
yeah,
And I hate to use that, but I laugh because I feel that. And I wake up feeling great. I go to sleep feeling great. I'm always smiling like I am through this. It's not to put on a show. I'm excited. And, you know, again, I feel fully in the moment throughout my day, which is important. And I keep that going in a consistent regimen. Again, I live in Colorado, so I mix the full spectrum, to be fair, but I think the general flow of daily usage gives you that sense of well-being, and that I can deal with a lot of small things that normally afflict the everyday.
yes, exactly. Also, I mean, for me, it was lack of symptoms that I had
Yeah.
that when and that's what cracks me up so many times is people will say, "Oh, you know, it's just not working." And I'm like, "Okay, that's okay. Just stop taking it." And then a week
I like
later,
that.
can I get some more? I didn't realize it's like, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because your body is, you know, it's communicating with itself. It's giving, you know, it's moving things around that need to be moved around. It's working for your well-being, and yeah, you don't realize until you stop taking it. Holy shit! What?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Give me
Stop
more.
drinking water for a few hours. See how you feel. Yeah.
Exactly.
I drink water. I feel
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah. Well, in your body. I mean, we talk about it all the time. You've gotten in a cannabinoid system. Your body makes cannabinoids. Might not be making as many cannabinoids as you need it to be making right now. So help it out, give it a boost, and see how you feel, and track it, and you know, because you know you may need more, you may need a couple sticks. Um, it, it's really just learning to listen to your body and give it what it needs. And some days you might need more, some days you might need less, but it's really worth taking the time to try products and find something that works for you. And I just really like this because it's just so easy. You just
Awesome. Thank you.
you just dump it in water and stir it up, and you're done. So,
That's it. Pop it in a water bottle on the go, whatever you have. And everybody always has a drink in their hand, I think, is the easy answer that comes to beverages. You're drinking coffee, water, tea, cocktail, nighttime coffee or nighttime tea, whatever it might
Yeah.
be. Nighttime coffee wouldn't be good.
Nighttime coffee, no. Put it in your nighttime espresso. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. I lived in Europe for a bit sometimes.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah, I was thinking I was going to maybe try the stress one because I do like lemon. I was going to try to maybe put that in one of my cocktails on the weekend. So, a little
Definitely.
gin.
You said you don't like ginger, or you like ginger?
It's the turmeric that I'm like, I don't know if I. Yeah, I mean, I think that might be a little. I don't know. I might try it.
I was just saying, that's the most fun to mix with is the Recover Stick if you're getting into the cocktail hour.
Okay.
Just ginger is so interesting.
Yeah, well, I used to do I used to have a drink that had a ginger beer in it.
Moscow Mule?
No, it's called a gin daisy. So.
That sounds nice.
Refreshing little drink.
I heard you say the bee's knees, actually.
The bee's knees is the other one. That's the one I want to put the lemon in. The stress one.
That's a good answer. I forgot. I was supposed to tell you, yes, stress will be beautiful in that bee's knees.
Oh, good. Yes. So.
Nice.
Yeah. So, oh man, gonna have to come up with some recipes, some cocktail recipes to put this in, because I have seen some adult beverages marketed with CBD in it. So. I
like separating ourselves, but definitely the consumer is open to do as they want. But
that's what I like. I don't want a pre-mixed adult beverage with CBD in it. I would prefer to add my own. Thank you very much.
Definitely, yeah. Trust it when you know where it came from separately.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, what are you hoping to see? Outside of the FDA, because we all know we want the FDA to do their due diligence as quickly as possible and get us to where we need to be. Outside of that, what are you hoping to see within the next 12 months? I mean, next 6 months we're messed up because of COVID. So, I don't see anything happening in the next 6 months. But maybe a year. What would you like to see happen in the industry?
I think innovation is super exciting, and you asked what we're coming with. I gave you a slight tease. I think across the category, I'm excited for the new companies coming on board, the big players that are going to come on board, the everyday CPG, food, drug, mass type customers that you see in your everyday shopping. They're going to be coming with big, great new products, and I'm excited to be on that train with them, creating the consumer excitement and really influencing the lives of consumers at every touch point. So I think that's going to be exciting as you get across topicals, as you get across different skin technologies that we've known about in cosmetics for years that aren't currently being applied to CBD products. We're making CBD in products as opposed to real CBD products. And I think there's excitements in a lot of those areas that consumers are going to see a big wave of differentiation of product over the next 12 months.
How do you see marketing changing?
Claims are very important to marketing. It's funny, I grew up in P&G where you can't claim a thing unless it's very approved by legal, let's call it. So I know the importance of a claim in a buyer's decision, a consumer's decision. I think that research is crucial, and having the data, being able to provide it and make real claims is crucial to marketing, or else we're just making up pretty words and pretty packaging that's not necessarily giving the consumer everything they want. So we're striving, and you'll see on our site we have a lot of educational materials trying to walk through that journey as opposed to just say, try me, and really help a consumer ease into that first trial, the second trial, and through however long they're ready to use our product.
Yeah.
I think that's the important part of marketing at the end of the day, is creating that credibility that you know what you're talking about, and I should try this.
And that's the weird area that cannabinoids fall into, is certain claims will require it to be a drug, while other claims will let you have it in the herbal dietary supplement type of area. And so even if it comes to a true claim, when the studies come out, it's like we're not going to want to go there, because then our product is a drug. So
It's a very good point.
Yeah, it's really, it's a catch-22, because you want to be able to say studies have shown that this cannabinoid reduces seizures, like Epidiolex, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But then you're a drug. And so then you're a whole other set of rules that you have to follow. But if we go with more the herbal supplement type of deal, then so it's like, will we ever get to the point where we can make the real claims without, but also saying that it's safe, like with aspirin. Aspirin,
Right.
it's, you don't need a prescription for it. There are plenty of studies. There's my dog. Plenty of studies showing the efficacy in multiple areas that would make it a quote-unquote drug. And so you need an NADA or an ANADA, to go along with that. But it's sold over the counter, on the shelf, multiple manufacturers. So it's not like it's, a scary thing where you're going to die and of course, you take a whole bottle of anything, you're going to have issues.
A lot of things in the store.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, CBD is a heck of a lot safer than aspirin. But anyway, so, I mean, it's just like we're going to have some middle ground. When we have these studies saying it does this, but it's safe enough that it doesn't have to be a pharmaceutical.
Can I answer this a different way with a different category that's safer to talk about?
Yes.
Let's use alcohol.
Woo! Yes.
The exact opposite of alcohol. I think social context of how we understand alcohol versus cannabis, or the crazier words like marijuana or pot or any of these other words that describe it, is one's a drug and one's a recreation. Yeah, both of us drink, and I think both of us can clearly affirm that alcohol is a hell of a drug.
Oh, yeah.
And all of us have had bad nights with bad friends, bad family issues, etc., that alcohol has created in our society, yet it's legal. And we all use it after work to calm down. And I think the interesting social stigma that cannabis has been up against is it's very similar. However, the THC side of cannabis and really the recreational relaxation is very similar to what we try to achieve with alcohol. However, without the downsides. And a lot of those angry nights and hangovers in the morning, let's call it, those haven't been found. But yet as a society, we
and
make
also damaged
alcohol
livers.
safe and legal. Damaged, oh yeah. Don't even get me into the real downsides of deaths per year related to alcohol. I mean, we all know these things, and we get past having it in front of our children at a party where they have full access. And it's, in our minds, it's legal and okay. Living in Colorado, I think we realize there's another perspective there, that how we think about things is related to our actions and how they affect us. And cannabis has an exciting future of very different. So I use that as an example in parallel that, drug versus supplement is in the eye of the beholder and what you're getting from the benefits. And I think we've created a lot of rules around those, clinical studies, et cetera, that are very important in proving things out. However, as we just said, there's some very dangerous products that are legal if taken too of. for
Yes.
example. And then there's some very safe products that just have missed the mark on becoming legal and being tested, being understood. So I think that's do your own research, and going back to the endocannabinoid system, research it until you're blue in the face, because it gets really interesting.
It does. It really is. It's an amazing system, and I just look forward to more and more and more studies. We have, my, let's see, grandchildren, because my boys are in their mid-20s. No grandchildren yet, but at some point, maybe I'll get lucky. But the world that they live in and the choices that they will have when it comes to their own health, compared to where we are now, it excites me. And
Definitely.
I remember a couple of years, 2-3 years ago, I was interviewing someone, and I mentioned that I want to see, how they had the Coke machines with all the different flavors and all the different varieties, and you have a multitude of choices. That's what I want for cannabinoids. I want to be able to go up and push the CBG, and I want a little bit of CBD, and I want to put some THCV in there, and just a tad of THC, and I want to come out with a tincture that's exactly what I want.
Someday I'm going to give you a water that's like that. I'm going to invite you to a PR launch event where you can hopefully, I love that idea, and I'm going to write that down.
Good.
And we're going to try to do it, because water-soluble cannabinoids, we could do sadly, when I was a kid, it was, I don't even know what it's called, the mix of everything
Suicide.
in one. There you go. Yeah.
That's what we always called it, the suicide drink. You just go to 7-Eleven and just...
I'm sure that's not allowed to be said anymore. I don't know why we were, but yeah, exactly. You could do exactly that and create your cocktail of the different cannabinoids that you need at the moment. Yeah. And even more fun, again, at a night out that could be safely a good time.
Yes, very much so. Well, TJ,
teaser for the future as well.
Yeah. Oh man, it's going to be a good time. Yeah, there's so many things coming up, and I'm so grateful for the people that are doing the work behind the scenes, that are doing the studies, and the people that are formulating all these wonderful products for our consumers to use to, increase their health. And just very, very grateful for all of you guys out there that are, putting your necks out on the line, seriously, to help people in need with their health. So, and I'm sure your mother is very grateful as well.
Well, thank you very much. She is, and thank you for your kind words, and thank you to anybody who's watched through all the way. My words, and really mean it, and look forward to helping you through your journeys. Would love to hear your feedback across the board. Happy to send out some samples. If you're interested, reach out. Happy to send them firsthand, and let me know what you think, because we're here to grow and here to help you on your journey.
Amen for that. All right, everybody. Well, I'll put the website in there. It's HOLISTIK wellness.com. And give them a try. There's 5 different, whoops, my phone's going off, sorry. 5 different flavors to try. Nice background music.
This is the end music.
Something like that. And we look forward to more flavors coming out as well. So again, thank you for giving us your time, TJ. We appreciate it. And everybody, stay happy, stay healthy. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Thanks for having me. Bye, Don.
Hey everyone, one quick thing here at the end of the episode. I spoke with TJ and he wanted to offer a discount code to listeners to try his product. So if you go to HOLISTIK, HOLISTIK wellness.com and use the coupon code or discount code TALK, TALK 25, you'll get a discount. Give them a try. Thanks, guys.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.